Hello and welcome to the channel. It's me, Kristofer Brooks. I hope everyone's keeping well. So, fuckery at foot. Okay, so on the one hand, we've got this newspaper article online, actually, from the BBC Verify, and it's saying no, UK weather is not being manipulated. And this was written on or published on the 4th of July 2024. They base what they're saying on, as it's some kind of conspiracy, where they use this as an example. This is how they created the blanket that we are now under in the north. And there's a big exclamation saying it's obviously that's down to conspiracy theories, which is what it says here. But among those who deny the existence of climate change, an alternative theory has been gaining momentum. It alleges that the government is supposedly controlling both weather and climate for sinister purposes. Variations of this narrative have been circulating online for years, but in the aftermath of the unusual weather events, it tends to resurface on all major social media platforms. By using social media analytic tools, BBC Verify found that the conversation around these topics has been gaining momentum this year. Since January, mentions of geoengineering on X more than doubled worldwide compared to the last 6 months of 2023. BBC Verified found thousands of tweets spreading falsehoods and conspiracy theories. These claims often lump together processes that are largely different from each other, such as weather modification and geoengineering. So that's the BBC. And I would like to know, actually, what is the difference between geoengineering and weather modification? Because the outcome is for the same thing, isn't it? If you're manipulating the weather, you're manipulating the weather for it to rain, or you're manipulating the weather for it to snow or hurricane or whatever the outcome that you want. Well, geoengineering is the same because they use geoengineering for cloud seeding, which makes it rain. So how are they? I don't understand how they're not one and the same thing. As you may have noticed, I'm not a scientist. So anyway, we've got that, but then we've got this, and this was in The Guardian, and it was published Wednesday the 12th of March this year, so 2025. The UK's gamble on solar geoengineering is like using an aspirin for cancer. Injecting pollutants into the atmosphere to reflect the sun would be extremely dangerous, but the UK is funding field trials. Some years ago, in the pages of The Guardian, we sounded the alarm about the increasing attention being paid to solar geoengineering, a barking mad scheme to cancel global heating by putting pollutants in the atmosphere that dim the sun by reflecting some sunlight back to space. In one widely touted proposition, fleets of aircraft would continually inject sulfur compounds into the upper atmosphere, simulating the effects of a massive array of volcanoes erupting continuously. In essence, we have broken the climate by releasing gigatons of fossil fuel carbon dioxide, and solar geoengineering proposes to fix it by breaking a very different part of the climate system. The fix is more like taking aspirin for cancer, treating symptoms but leaving the underlying malignancy to keep growing. It poses arguably unsurmountable governance issues in our turbulent modern political environment. And if we become reliant on solar geoengineering, the world will be left subject to a catastrophic termination shock if the intervention is ever halted, any time during the next millennium or even longer. So obviously we're talking less than a year apart from the BBC article to this article, but surely this article would have had loads of planning to get to the stage where it's at now, to be creating field trials. So surely the BBC, surely this was the thing back when the BBC were writing it. So again, it's just the BBC doing what they do best, isn't it? So I just thought I would share that with you, because it's quite, well, we know everything that we're told is baloney anyway. So the area geoengineering program is a dangerous distraction from the work that needs to be done to achieve net zero carbon dioxide emissions, which again you are never going to do, because each and every single one of us is the carbon that they want rid of. So yeah, there you go. So you got two conflicting news articles within a year apart. One saying, the BBC saying no, there is no weather manipulation going on, and then we've got the Guardian saying that the geoengineering that we're trialing is a bad move. So there you have it. Let me know what you think. Look after yourselves, take care, and I will speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.